Hi, how are you? This is Melody from Home Garden and Fashion. Please welcome to Home Garden and Fashion. Today I'm going to show a requested video. This is someone requested me to show her that she has a sari and she wants to use that sari to make a salwar kurta, and how to put it at the bottom of the pajama and at the chunri. So I'm going to show you how to put a little piece of fabric at the bottom of the salwar and the chunni. So what you do is you cut a little piece of fabric, measure it first over here according to your kurta, see, or the pajama, see how much you need to put it. And I measured and I cut a little piece, so you just put it like this and just cut exactly what you need, and have little bit extra, very little, about an inch extra in the sides to stitch it. And like this you just fold it little bit extra in the side to stitch it. So half inch this side, half inch this side. And the same way you can put this sari fabric in your kurta, in your pajama, and also in your dupatta. So now here I'm going to do a hem. So one of the my YouTube subscriber and my viewer wanted to know how to do the hem, so this is how you do hem. It's very easy. You just put your needle little bit bended way and come out, and you take it and put it a little bit bended way and come out. And to do the hem, your thread should be longer inside and very short outside, that you cannot even see. And it's always best to get the thread the exact same color as your fabric, so you cannot see the thread from outside. So this is how we do the thread hem, and we're going to just seal it over here. So the same way you will be doing all the four sides. So you will stitch this side, this side, this side, and this side, all the four sides, and you measure the fabric with your salwar or kurta or the dupatta, and you can give 2 inch, 3 inch, 4 inch, whatever is the width you like. So this one is about 3 inch. So after you do this, then you come, see this salwar has an opening over here, so you go with the opening like this, so you match it exactly. And then the other side you'll be doing the same thing, you'll match it exactly, and then you stitch it. And make sure that your this fabric and this fabric matches. In any case that your this fabric is little bigger, then you can fold one more time to match it, because you're going to stitch it these two together. And this is we're doing just to give a nice design to the pajama or your churidar or your salwar, whatever you call it. So this is a churidar, and we're giving a nice design to it because we're using this fabric. Just pretend this fabric is a sari fabric, and we're using this sari fabric, and we made the kurta with the sari fabric. So we're using the sari fabric and your churidar to match it. So now you fold it like this, and you will be stitching it here. So this stitch over here, you will give a just basic running stitch. You make sure that at the bottom you put a knot, and then you give just a basic running stitch. So you match these two corners. If these this top one comes little bit out, little bit big, tiny little bit big, it's okay. But we are just trying to match these two fabric. And I already have a hook inside because this churidar was already made. So now here you give a basic running stitch. So you go from the bottom more and top very little. So always we go too much from the bottom, and top we take tiny little, because we don't want to sew too much of the thread on top. Now like this you will be doing all the four sides. You will be doing the bottom, and then you will be doing this top, and then you will be doing this, and the other side the same. So you will be stitching all the four sides. So I will show you one side, and then I'll show you little bit the top, and then the sides you can do yourself. So here we go, very little in the top, tiny little the needle coming out, and all in the bottom. See, bottom I'm taking big, huge. And if you cannot run this thing under the machine if your fabric is like this kind of net fabric, because that way your fabric might get bunched up like this. So it's better to do this job by your hand and just do a neat job, and make sure you get a very good quality thread. A little expensive thread will do better, because you could do that, or if you get a cheap thread, then make sure you do twice. But in either case, you need to make the top stitches very tiny so you cannot see. Bottom stitches big. Now we go up to here, and you see how much I have left. I have a lot of left, and I'm going to just fold this one. Now when you do this side, you make sure you match this side first and start stitching this side, so that way you'll know how much left in the other side, and you can trim off the excess or fold it, either way. If you see folding it making it too big of a bulge, then you can trim off and then stitch again. So here I go from inside very tiny little, and then I go from inside a big one, and then on the top very tiny little. Now I come out. So this is how you're going to add a little piece of the sari fabric to your churidar, your salwar, and that way it will match. So now we've done the bottom part, and I see when you put it down, you see like this. So you don't want to cut it off right away. You want to finish the whole job and then cut it off. That way you don't see all of a sudden it's tiny or something. So now we're going to do to the other side. So I'm going to seal this one off and then go to the other side to show you. So this is how you're going to seal it off so it doesn't open up. Now you see over here, when you do the other side, you have to make sure that it matches one side, and the other side you can snap it off and make it little. So like this, you start from here, and you have to, when you stitch, you have to flatten it nicely so it doesn't get wrinkled. So you start from here, and then you continue flattening with your hand, and the other side you stitch it, and make sure it doesn't get bunched up. So I'm going to start from here like this. So it's kind of better if I just go ahead and stitch this side, so that way it don't go away and it will stay in place. When you're doing this is the running stitch, so you will be doing little on the top and big at the bottom. Like this. So you seal it this side, so you know it's not going to move from this location. And now it will be easy to do this. So you have to smooth it out with your hand like this, and then you stitch. Smooth it out like this, and then you stitch little at a time, just like you put sari falls. So it will be stitched just the way. And when you're done, slowly you go, and then when you're done all the way over here, when you finish here, then you're going to fold this one like this and stitch it with this. Now if you see it's too fat, too bunched up, then you can even snip it off. You can snip it up this much, but I wouldn't do that until I'm finished all the side stitching, because in case I see the fabric is pulled and is small, then I cannot add it again. So it's better to finish all your stitching, and at the very end you can snip it up this much and just fold it and then stitch it with this. So that's how I did this leg of the churidar, and you see your hook was already there, and now it's looks like just the way you can put the sari fabric in your churidar or in your salwar. Now I'll show you how to do the dupatta. Now you see in the dupatta I have used a similar way, the same fabric. So I will show you how to do it. Now when you put this fabric, see this fabric is joined from the back and then it came to the front. So you have to look for this front and the back. So this is the front. As you see, wherever is the fabric, that's the front. So when you join the fabric from the back, so I have a long cut fabric, and what you do with this fabric is you find the right side of the fabric. Now in this cut fabric you need to stitch this side and the other side, and then you need to fold it like this and stitch along the whole side like this. Stitch, put a machine stitch or your hand stitch like this, just simple running stitch like this. You fold and stitch, and same thing you will be doing this other side. So this is about 2-inch fabric. Now after you done that, then you take the right side of the fabric and the right side of the dupatta like this, and leave little bit extra in the side in case you get short or something in the fabric. And now you stitch it like this. After you're done stitching the entire side, then you're going to fold it and come back, and after you come back, then you're going to fold it and stitch it here. So you see in the right side of the dupatta a beautiful trim of this your sari fabric. So I'm going to show you a little bit. So remember, when you cut this 2-inch long fabric, 2-inch width, the fabric length will be equal to this dupatta length, about 2 yards. And then once you cut it, then you stitch here little bit, 1/2 inch, and the other side 1/2 inch. And then you stitch here, folding twice like this, the entire length of this fabric to both the sides. Maybe stitching like this, either hem or running stitch, any kind of stitch. I'm doing this one hem, so you do hem on this side and the other side, fold it like this and do it. So now after we're done with this side, then I'll show you the other side, and then I'll fold it and show it to you how it will all go together. So like this you will do to the entire fabric length, or just put it under your machine and run it both the side. Now let me show you the, after you do this, now you take this fabric, and this is the right side of the trim, and this is the right side of the dupatta. So you take put both of them in the right side like this, and then fold. So before you do that, you make sure you have a fold created here like this, because that's how we want to fold. Before we put it, we want to stitch it like this. So now we put it like this and stitch. But remember, this is, you have to stitch this one first and then stitch it with the dupatta. Now see, that's why I told you put little extra or it will always get short. So we put little extra here like this, and take your needle and go inside it like this. So here we are not giving hem, it's just a basic running stitch. Like this, you'll just do basic running stitch while stitching this one folded, so it doesn't open up, and it gives little bit strength to the outside fabric to hold on to the dupatta. See, now after I come here, I'll do just little bit and show you how. Now let me seal it off here. So you will continue like this the entire length of the fabric, but I'm just showing you by sealing you here, and then how do I come back on that side, and that's how you're going to do all the 4 sides. It's a time taking process, but it will give a beautiful trim. Now after you do that, now you need to come back this side. So this is how you come back. You just fold it like this and then you fold this one if you want to make a little bit smaller, and then you stitch. So you're just basically giving a tiny little trim from your sari to this, so that your kurta and your dupatta and your salwar all look same, a matching design. So like this. This is where you're gonna do a hem. So I'm doing a hem here. So in this process you will be doing the entire length of the dupatta. So like this, little bit will be showing, not too much. It's up to you. If you can put maybe 4 inches, then it will be showing 2 inches. But if you take 2-inch fabric, then it will be showing like 1/2 inch or 1 inch, because we have stitched so many places. So it will be showing like a 1/2 inch. Now so I will leave you with this, and if you have any problem you can email me. I'll show you more. So you see, this is how it's gonna come. So this is how you're going to add the sari fabric to your dupatta, the sari fabric to your churidar. So this is the sari fabric, this is a net fabric, and like this you can use the sari fabric here in the churidar or your salwar. This one is done, and in your dupatta. See, dupatta over here is done. So I hope you understood this, and if you have any problem, feel free to email me and I will explain further. I just didn't want to bore you with doing all the 4 sides. So just take your fabric and cut it to the length of the dupatta, 2 inches wide, and then 2 yards. This dupatta I think is 1.5 yard. The one usually you buy it at the store, usually they are small, like 1.5 yard. And when I make it buying fabric, I buy 2 yards of fabric for a dupatta. So you cut this sari fabric about 2 yards in length and 2 inch wide if you want to make about 1/2 inch to 1 inch trim. But if you want to make a 3-4 inch trim, then you have to cut out the fabric about double, because you have to stitch these 2 sides like this, so it will take away your 2 inches, and then you have to fold it, so that will be like 2 inches of trim if you cut 4 inch wide fabric. And once you're done, it will really look beautiful with your, it will match with your kurti, because your kurti will be done with this sari fabric. So your dupatta and your churidar or your pajama will match, and it will really look beautiful. So hopefully soon I will be finishing this, and then I can show you how this one looks. It will take a little bit time because I have to stitch all the 4 sides for the dupatta. See, at the churidar it looks like this. Thank you so much for joining me. This is Melody from Home Garden and Fashion. Please do look for more videos coming up. I'll be doing many stitches, and I'll be doing many sari decorations and making many clutches. And the person who requested me to show her this video, she's making the salwar kurta with the sari. I hope you found all the videos for clutches, because I remember you asked me for clutch parts, and I have made about 6-7 videos. So I hope you got to watch all of them and made some for yourself. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye bye. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you have any question, you can always email me. Thank you. Bye bye. Have a great day.